I wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about what my upcoming plan is and what I've got going on. So right now, I'm actually currently in Texas, which is where my ex is from. Raven and I decided to go separate ways, and I wanted to help out as much as I could, so I flew down to Texas with Raven and the boys, and that's where I've been staying for a little while. And from here, I'm actually going to be, through the long run, going to Alaska. But before I can go to Alaska, first I'm going to have to go to Washington. So most of my gear, when I say most, I mean like all of my gear, all of my stuff is in Washington, on the family mountain. So pretty soon now I'm going to be leaving Texas and I'm going to be headed to Washington, which is where I'm going to gear up for my upcoming Alaska trip. So once I get to Washington, I'm going to be basing out of there, getting everything together that I need, and I will be then heading to Bellingham. So from Bellingham, I'm planning on taking the ferry and my vehicle up to Ketchikan. So Ketchikan is a smaller town. It's got like one strip road, but it does have like a Walmart and stores and stuff like that there. And it's been a while since I was there, so it's probably grown up a little bit. But from Ketchikan, I'm actually going to be headed to Prince of Wales Island. So in Ketchikan, there's an inter-island ferry. It's a smaller ferry that takes people from Ketchikan over to Prince of Wales. So Prince of Wales is a pretty big island in the southeast of Alaska, and it's where I grew up. That was the primary area that we grew up. So from Ketchikan, I'm going to be going to Hollis. That is where the ferry, the small inter-island ferry, docks is in Hollis. Hollis is one of the smaller areas that has the dock, but Prince of Wales Island is connected to a lot of smaller towns. So there's Klawock, there's Craig, there's Thorn Bay, and there's Kaufman Cove. It's been a while since I have actually been there, like quite a while. I think almost 7 or 8 years. But when I was a teen and in my early 20s, we spent a ton of time there, as well as when I was a kid. So my plan from there is I'm able to take my vehicle the entire way. So Prince of Wales Island, from Hollis to Craig and Klawock and all those places actually have roads that are connected. It's a pretty good drive. But they've got like roads, there are several gas stations, places to stock up on supplies and things like that. So there is a cabin that we stayed in a long time ago. It's a Forest Service cabin, and it's actually called Sweetwater, and it is on a small lake. So when I was last there, it's not accessible by any way except for to row in. Technically, you can cut way through the woods, but it's like a 2 or 3 mile hike from the road, and you got to know which direction you're going. But mainly, you just row in. So there's a canoe there, usually supplied by the Forest Service themselves, and it's a nice little lake. It's a beautiful lake, got some fishing on it, and you row into where the cabin is. The cabin is gorgeous. The cabin is a nice little quaint cabin, and we had a lot of fun memories there. It was actually winter when we first went to Sweetwater, and we ended up getting snowed in, and the lake froze on us. And so we were there a little bit longer than we intended, but that is where I'm going to be going. So Sweetwater Cabin is really close to Kaufman Cove. Kaufman Cove has one of the best libraries in all of Alaska, especially in the Prince of Wales Island. I used to, that was one of the only like social type areas that I actually liked going. I've never been a really social person and prefer the forest, but I actually do love libraries. I always loved them. I used to read like all sorts of books and stuff, books on knights and, you know, just all sorts of stuff. And my first computer that I used online was actually in a library, and I actually used it to look up comic books because I also read comic books and stuff. But I digress. So Kaufman Cove is a pretty nice town, and it's really close to Sweetwater Cabin. So while I'm staying in Sweetwater Cabin, I'm going to be there probably 15 days to a month or so. And then I will be, while I'm there, I will be scouting a property that I found. So there's a nice piece of property in Alaska. I've been looking for a piece of property, and this one is a nice one. It's right on the edge of the ocean. So it's only accessible by water, so I will need to get a skiff or a boat or something like that and scout the property, because I don't want to just buy the property sight unseen, because that's actually kind of risky in Alaska. I mean, it's risky really anywhere, but Alaska, has such rough terrain that it's really a good idea to scout it first. You don't want to buy something that's uninhabitable, like it could just be nothing but like hills and stuff like that, or muskeg. Muskeg is essentially a swamp, a bog. It is an area that has water underneath it, so it's really, really wet. Some muskegs go on for miles and miles and miles, and often they're pretty good hunting. Deer actually love muskegs, but they tend to skirt around the edges of them. So once I scout out the property, depending on what it looks like and, if it's a go or not, I'll be talking to the people that own it, and I'm thinking about purchasing it. So it's pretty close to Kaufman Cove. It's not like right next to Kaufman Cove, but Kaufman Cove is a closer town to it, which has the awesome library. So that is my essential plan right now. What I'm planning on doing. So I'm planning on going around like September or so. So in September, it's like hunting season. A lot of salmon are still running in the creeks and things like that. And so a lot of people, they go up in July or June, which is the optimum time. If you want to see a beautiful Alaska, you don't want to worry too much with weather and things like that, June, July is the best time. I'm going to be going up in September, though, because one, I love the fall, and two, I love hunting season. So I'm planning on taking a really small amount of supplies with me. I'll have canned goods, some stuff like that, and some canned food, some dried food, and some fire starters. I won't be able to take many Dr. Peppers, which, as you know, is my preferred drink, but I actually love tea as well, particularly Picot cut black tea, like the Lipton style. So I'll be stocking up on all that sort of stuff, like granulated sugar, tea, as many canned goods as I can, because my main goal on there is actually to more live off of the land like we did when I was younger. So in September, it's hunting season. There will be fish in the streams, and it is a lot more optimum time to go for what I'm looking for. I also like a little bit more of rainy and, mucky kind of weather. And it's been too long since I've been into Alaska. I didn't realize, but I was looking at my phone. I was going through pictures and stuff the other day, and it's been 5 years, a little longer than 5 years since I was in Alaska. And it doesn't seem like that it's been that long, but I've actually been pretty busy. Just like when we first moved out of Alaska, we were fighting Mom's cancer battle, which they gave her a 3% chance to live. So we're over in LA doing everything we can for Mom's cancer battle, being there supportive with her, braving the heat of LA and stuff. And Mom did the chemo and everything, and she beat it. Mom beat cancer. And unfortunately, that victory was a little bit short-lived, because after Mom beat cancer, and we almost settled in Colorado, but we decided to go to Washington instead. We just found a better piece of property and stuff. And in Washington, just as things were starting to look up, we were getting everything built up. We had barn, we had animals, houses, and everything. We were hit with a massive forest fire. So the massive forest fire, at one time, there were 60-foot high flames in it. Burned off almost all the trees, burned quite a few of my siblings' places, Bam's place, Bird's place. A lot of them were burned. Luckily, the main house was still standing, and my Connex didn't get burned, but it got burned around it. But it's like solid metal, so it was pretty safe. I actually, at one time, I was driving, and I was trying to get some stuff out from up there. I was driving a four-wheeler, and I went to one of the smaller roads. I was actually looking for a Bible for one of my siblings, and I went in there. And when I went in, there was fire all in the trees on the side, and I went in, and I'm looking for this Bible, couldn't find it anywhere, finally found it. When the time I was going out, the road started being closed from fire. It started engulfing around it. So I knew I could either ditch the four-wheeler and try to go around on foot, which would take hours and hours to get back down mountain and be extremely dangerous, or I could just gun it. So I actually just gunned it. I went as fast as I could on the four-wheeler straight under it, but when I did, some trees and fire started falling, hit me right on the back. It actually burned me right on the back of one of my tattoos. But after that happened, and the fire took almost everything that we had built, all the trees and everything like that, that was a setback in itself, but that wasn't the main setback. We didn't know it, but we were about to suffer the greatest loss of all, and we did. So first, Mr. Cupcake, our loyal dog, who was actually quite young, he just suddenly passed away, and I don't even think it was a month later that we lost Dad. And it's still hard for me to talk about that, and hard for me to talk about Dad in general, you gotta remember, Dad was always there. He was always there for me, and for like my entire life, for like 33 years, every day, Dad was there. He was always someone that I could talk to. He was always someone that knew the right thing to say, and all. And I couldn't help but feel like, you know, I failed Dad. Like there are things that I could have done better. Like one of the last things he said to me was that he was proud of me. And I made a sarcastic comment. I was like, oh, I don't see why. And things like that are difficult, but I was also there with him when he passed away. One of the very last things he said, the last thing was Bear. I was trying to like wake him up, and he just said, he's like, oh, Bear. And it was the last thing he said. And it wasn't like a distressed bear or anything. It was just like everything was peaceful for him, which I find solace in that. But it was definitely difficult. And so then we lost Dad. And that hit everyone really, really hard. It hit all of us really hard. And most of us still haven't recovered from it. It's like, how do you never truly recover from something like that. And I know a lot of people that are close to their parents, they don't recover from that in general either. But we were like really, really close. And Dad was like my best friend and everything. And he's one of the only people on the planet that was always there for me, always. And I can't help but feel like I let him down, even though I know that he would say that I didn't. But after he passed away, and the mountain was burned and stuff, we kept trying to stick together, you know, as a wolf pack to build up the family ranch and all. And I had already met Raven, and we had one boy together. And so we ended up getting back together, and we got married, and we had another boy. And then time progressed, and we had another. So it was 3 kiddos. And I guess I got kind of spread out a little bit further away than everyone else. Because I would like go to Texas to be closer to hospitals for the pregnancy, and I've just been hammering everything, trying to do what's best for my family and support them as best that I can and all. And obviously I work on like social media and all, because in the most unfortunate time possible, our show got put on what they consider hiatus, which feels an awful lot like being canceled. But they say it's hiatus, and we're even supposed to talk to them about like starting back up this fall or something like that. But I came here onto YouTube, and I think it's cool. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it's cool to kind of show y'all guys firsthand exactly how I live and how I will be living. And so the adventure is really just beginning. So this is really the first of the adventure, guys, and I really hope that y'all guys enjoy and stick around. I have a lot that I'd love to show y'all guys, and a lot of it is going to be in Alaska. Now, I also named my channel here The Life of Bear, because I just document where I am and what I'm doing. And here I'm doing it in longer form content. Survival is my favorite. Alaska is my favorite. But not all my content will be solid that. But upcoming, and the first of my content definitely will be, because that's the first thing I'm doing, is headed back to Alaska. And in Alaska, like I said, I'm scouting the property, and I'm just going to kind of, breathe in some of that Alaska air. Now, after I make that trip to Alaska, the initial trip, I unfortunately won't be going to Browntown this time. But with the initial trip in Alaska, once I'm finished with that, I will be headed back to Washington to drop off all my supplies and everything like that, and put them back in a nice safe spot. And then I'll be coming back down to Texas to visit the boys and stuff. And I will keep y'all guys posted on what I'm doing, and I will keep y'all up to date. And I'm also going to be doing my content more like off the show. So I actually learned a lot filming for the show, and I was technically an uncredited producer on the show, because I always produced all my own scenes. I always did. Nobody like told me what to do. They always asked me, so what are you doing? And I would let them know I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. And so myself and several of my siblings are actually like uncredited producers on the show, and I'm just going to use all that knowledge and try to film my YouTube stuff as much like an actual show as possible, and a little less like a video diary. But that is the basis of what I'm going to be doing, and where I will be for the next little while. And I hope that y'all guys subscribe to my channel. I hope you drop some likes, and I hope that you like it. If you have like any suggestions of stuff like that you would ever like to see, just be sure to let me know in the comments. I'm also going to try to be a lot more responsive on comments here and stuff, and I'm pretty excited about all the stuff I've got coming up, and I really hope that y'all guys enjoy my channel. And like I said, if there's ever anything you want to see me do or somewhere you might want to see me go, let me know, because like I said, this is the life of bear, and it's not just a survival channel. Primarily, yes, because that's what I like doing, hunting, survival, fishing, and things like that. But it is also just following me in my day-to-day life and what I happen to be doing. And that's going to be something that I'm going to be documenting a lot more. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I hope that y'all guys enjoy, and I hope to see you around. God bless, and stay awesome, and stay extreme.